just get started in a minute. So finding yourself a comfortable position, lying down. So whether you have your mat, whether you want to be on a bed, whatever is comfortable for you today. So we're going to just get ourselves lying down. And if you want something behind the back of your head, it's absolutely fine, but nothing too thick. So sometimes we just want to grab a massive cushion, and we don't want our neck to sort of be flexed forward. So if you want a little something under your head, maybe a little towel, I use a very thin, about a 1-inch cushion. So, okay, so we're just going to get started. So welcome to Pyjama Pilates. Let's get ourselves nice and comfortable. We're just finding a really nice relaxation position for you. And just start to become aware of your breath. And just start to breathe gently in through the nose. And either out through the nose or out the mouth, depending what you feel more comfortable with. And you can even place a hand on the bottom of your rib cage and one on your tummy, just where your belly button is, and just start to breathe into your hands. And just start to feel that gentle rising as you feel your pelvis start to relax and soften. Start to feel your ribs, breastbone starting to get heavy into your mat or your bed, and also the back of the head. And if you are currently got your legs away from your body, just bring them back into a kneeling or bent knee position. So feet at a comfortable distance, roughly in line with your hips. But if you want them a little bit further out, that's fine. But just start to become aware of your alignment. So the thigh bones just starting to soften and relax into your hips. And while you're lying here, I want you to start to just draw a very gentle figure of 8 with the tip of your nose, like you've got a pencil right on the end of your nose, and you're just going to start to gently trace a little figure of 8, just to release any tension you might have in the neck. And keep with this breathing in for about 3 seconds, and trying to exhale just a little bit longer. Good, reverse the direction. Small little figures of 8s, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the tongue. Just doing one more of those before settling yourself back in the middle. And then we're going to do the infinity sign. So it's basically the figure of 8, but we're moving it onto the side. So we're just starting to let the neck rock from side to side. Again, just gentle with the neck, gentle pace, and keep breathing. Change the direction if you haven't already. And then just settling once again into the middle. Now I'm dropping your left ear all the way to your left shoulder. Let's get a little bit more rotation into the neck. Take a breath in here, and as you exhale, bring yourself back to the center. Breathe in, exhale, going over now to the right. Breathing in, holding the position, and then exhaling, taking your head back to center. Just doing one more of those to each side. Good. Just gently rotating. Just feeling the weight into the head. Hi, Taz. Didn't see you log on there. Just doing one more to each side. And then settling the head back in the center. And then taking both arms up to reach the ceiling. Just letting that humerus at the top of the arm relax into the shoulder joint. Feel your breastbone just start to soften down a little bit more. You're going to breathe in as you reach your left fingertips up towards the ceiling, just feeling the scapula gently lift away from the mat, and then exhale, lowering it back down. Other side, breathing in, reaching your right fingertips up towards the ceiling, and then exhaling, just letting that arm drop down. And keep going. Feeling the backs of the scapula just slide gently up and down from your rib cage. And everything else is staying relaxed. Everything else is staying heavy. One more to each side. Good. And then once you've done an even amount, just turn the palms to face your knees and just relax the arms back down by the side of the body. Let's work through our hips a little bit now. So we're going to start with the left leg. Just start to reach that heel away from you. So you're opening up the hip. Keep your foot slightly flexed so you can feel that stretch all the way up through the back of the calf. Breathe in, hold here, and then as you exhale, I want you to slide that leg back in. And whilst you do that, just start to feel a gentle little connection in your core, almost like a little lifting, like a little elevator going from your pubic floor up to your belly button. Going over to the other side now, reaching your right leg away, slight flexion of the foot, feel the stretch, the openness across the hip, and then slide that heel back in, nice alignment to the start. Keep going. You're going to do another 2 of these to each side. So exhaling as you reach the heel away. Breathe in, hold, and then exhaling, sliding it back. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't fully do the right breath pattern. Just make sure you're breathing and you're not holding your breath at any point, trying to think about when you should be breathing in, breathing out. Just finding a comfortable breathing pattern for you if that's easier. Good. Making sure you've done a nice even amount to both sides, and then bring your knees back just in front of your pelvis. Just making sure that the feet have a nice even weight through the soles, the big toe, the little toe, the center of the heel. And then place your hands on the top of your hip bones. We're just going to open that left thigh bone out to the side, but we're trying to keep our pelvis completely stable. So start to think about switching on those abdominals, almost like you're gently pulling your belly button towards the back of your spine. Other side, exhaling, opening up that right thigh bone, letting it come out. The foot rolls to the outer border. Breathe in, hold, and then exhaling, drawing the knee back to the starting position. So while you're doing that, you're exhaling, you're breathing in, you're using those tummy muscles to keep that position without disturbing any of the other parts of the body. Trying to keep a neutral spine and a neutral pelvis. Let's do 2 more to each side, just letting that leg slightly come out. Hold the position and then draw it back. So last one, exhaling, breathing in, and then exhaling, drawing that leg back to the start, keeping your pelvis lovely and stable. Good. Even amount, and then we're going to reach our arms all the way back up over our shoulders, and keeping your palms facing your knees. You're going to bend your left elbow, and you're going to start to take it out to the side. So you're dropping the elbow, but still keeping it in line, keeping the wrist nice and straight, and then bending it back to the start. So you're dropping the elbow to the side, and then reaching it back up. So dropping the elbow, and reaching it back up. Just be mindful you don't lock the elbows out every time you bring the arms back. And we've still got that connection through our tummy. Good. On the next one, you're going to bend the elbow and then just gently rotate your head to look at your elbow. And then take the head back to center, reach the arm back up. Other side. So you bend the elbow and start to look towards your elbow, getting a bit of rotation. Still keeping your wrists strong. and then drawing it back up. One more to each side, adding that rotation. With the neck, keeping the spine really still, keeping the ribs heavy. Good, even amount on both sides. And then I want you to take a breath in here with your arms above your shoulders. And then as you exhale, reaching them all the way overhead. So your arms start to frame your ears. But just drop the shoulders away and try and keep your ribs really grounded into the floor, the bed, the mat. And then reach the arms back over chest and all the way down by the side of the body. So we're going to do that 2 more times. Breathe in, reach those arms up. Exhale, engage through that center to keep your ribs heavy. Lengthening the arms behind you. Just making sure the shoulders haven't reached up towards your ears. Last one, breathing in, exhaling. Softening that breastbone down. And then breathing in. And exhaling, taking the arms back down by the side of the body. So coming back towards our hips, you can place your hands onto your hips again if you want a little bit of feedback from your pelvis. But we're going to lift the left heel, and just gently draw that knee in towards the body, roughly in line with your hip. Don't take it too far so we start to feel the tailbone come up. We want to keep that pelvis neutral. We want to keep that spine neutral. Lower the foot back down with control before going over to the other side. So coming into single knee folds. So we exhale on the movement. We breathe in, we hold the position, and then we exhale as we lower back down again. So taking it slowly, taking it controlled. Again, thinking about that gentle little lift upwards from your pubic bone to the deep abdominals. Never bracing. It's not about clenching the abs and sticking the abdominals out. It's a gentle little lift inside. One more to each side, making sure you're even. Good. Just reset yourself quickly. And then we're going to come back into that single knee fold, but we're going to go into knee circles. But I want the movement to be coming from the hip. So it's a very small, almost like you're drawing a tiny little teardrop about the size of a tennis ball. Just circling the thigh bone in that hip joint whilst maintaining a 90-degree angle with that knee. So try not to just let that leg collapse. Try and use the abdominals to just keep yourself stable. Reverse the circle. Keep breathing. Keep thinking about dropping that breastbone. And then lowering that foot, just making sure you've done both directions. Reset. Stretch that left leg out if you need to, just to give it a little bit of a point and flex. And then we can go to the other side. So single knee fold first. And then take a breath in, and as you exhale, start to think about those small little circles. So staying within your box, don't go really much far away from your pelvis. Switch on those abdominals to keep your pelvis stable, keep your spine stable. Reverse the direction if you haven't already. Just breathing in. And then gently lowering that leg back down, sliding the leg away. Just point and flex the foot a few times. And then we can slide it back in. We're going to bring our arms out to the side now into what we call low V. As long as your wrists are below your shoulders, they can be at a comfortable height for you. You're going to bring your ankles, your knees, your thighs together. Just going to come into some gentle hip rolls. So let's take a little breath in, and as you exhale, I want you to gently take your knees over to the left. Keep them glued together. And before you take them too far, just pause, thinking about that little lift in your tummy, and then gently taking your legs back to center. So we exhale, keeping those legs glued. Try not to let the knees slip away. Coming into gentle rotation of the spine. Breathe in to hold, and then exhaling, coming back to the center. So let's do that 2 more times. So 2 more on each side. So it's that gentle little rotation, Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed and heavy into the mat. And think about drawing that belly button slightly back. So if we don't use our tummy and we just let our legs go to gravity, all we're doing is we're just completely over-rotating. We're getting everything a bit out of alignment. So just use the muscles in your tummy. Just gently rotate. So we're targeting that mid part of the back. Good. Just finishing your set. So one more to each side if you haven't already. Good. And then just walk the feet out back to about hip width, and then slide both legs away. And just gently circling those ankle joints. And going the other way. And then spreading out the toes and relaxing them. And then bringing your toes slightly towards your nose, like you're trying to reach the heel away. And then gently pointing the toes away. And then just letting those feet relax for a moment. You're going to take the arms all the way overhead now. So just being careful you don't, especially if you're hypermobile, just take your time with stretching the arms out, just letting the whole body go, whatever feels nice. Just taking a little breath in here. And if it feels okay for you, we can come into a gentle side flexion. So we're going to take hold of our left wrist and just gently pull our spine slightly over to the right, just feeling the spine come into a gentle little flexion, side flexion. Just breathing in. And then gently releasing the wrist, bringing your spine back to center before going over to the other side. So taking hold of your right wrist and just gently letting the spine stretch over to the left a bit. One more breath. And then releasing the wrist, gently bringing your head back to center. And then the arms can come back down and we can slide the legs back in towards the body. Just bring both knees in towards the body now. Just give yourself a little hug, a little rock in the lower back if that feels quite nice. And then just gently dropping the tailbone and releasing it. And then placing your feet back down. We're going to come into a spine curl, but first let's just get a little bit more mobility in that pelvis. So hands back onto your hips and just start to think about that tailbone. Take a little breath in, and as you exhale, just gently bring that tailbone up towards your nose a bit so you can feel a slight release into the lower back. Just hold, take a breath in here, and then release the pelvis back to that starting position. And then if it feels okay, just gently tuck the tailbone under so we can feel a little bit more lengthening now into the lower back. Again, don't force it, don't take it too far. So one more, just tucking that tailbone slightly towards the nose, feeling a bit of a release in the lower back, and then gently reaching it away. Feel a bit of a lengthening. And then just let that pelvis settle back down into the middle. Make sure your feet aren't too far away from the body, equally not too close towards the pelvis. So just a little bit in between. So you've got a tiny bit of space between the back of the knee, the back of the thigh. Arms are down by the side. We're going to come into our spine curl. So taking a little breath in here. As you exhale, think about that tucking the tailbone and start to peel and wheel your spine up and away. So you're roughly between your shoulder blades. So not on the neck, not on the head. Just make sure those ears haven't shifted up towards the ears. Breathe in and exhale. Start to lower the spine back down. But still keep that tailbone towards your nose so you feel a lovely release. And then just relax the pelvis at the bottom. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So we breathe in, exhale, peel the spine up. Open the hips, almost like you're reaching your knees away. Soften the breastbone down, exhaling. Bone by bone, release the spine, and then release the pelvis. One more, breath in, breath out, tuck the tailbone, Open the hips, peel the spine, base of the shoulders, neck is free of tension. And then exhaling, coming all the way back down again, bone by bone by bone, just releasing that spine back down. Now we're just going to gently bring the hands behind the head, leaving the neck nice and free. Keep the elbows in your peripheral vision so you're not just dropping them down to the side and overstretching through the shoulders. Tummy again is switched on. And just nod the chin gently. It's not about height. We're just going to nod the chin gently and almost start to feel like you're pulling your head towards the ceiling whilst keeping your pelvis grounded. Take a little breath in here and then exhale, just gently lower that spine back down. So we're coming into a bit of upper spinal flexion. Really good. We exhale, just coming up. Keep your pelvis heavy. Not a big movement. Keep your elbows where they are. And then lower yourself back down. We're just going to do one more of these. If you can't do it, that's fine. You could just bring your head back down to the mat and arms down by the side. But if you've got one more, just gently curling up, looking down towards your pubic bone. And then just releasing yourself back down. Lower the head and then bring the arms all the way back down by the side of the body. We're going to open the feet out now a little bit. Bring those arms back to your low V. We're going to come into some windscreen wiper legs. So I want you to think taking both legs over to the side. Similar to what we did earlier with hip rolls, but you're keeping your shoulders nice and grounded into the mat. So we're still using those abdominals a little bit. Breathe in, exhaling, taking your knees back to center. Other side, so the foot rolls on the outer border. Shoulders stay heavy. We're still using those tummies, that little lift like we're pushing towards the back of the spine. Just two more of these. Two more on each side. We exhale on the movement. Breathe in, hold the position, exhaling, drawing your knees back. Taking your time with it. Good. And after your last one, just bringing your feet back to center, just walking the feet in a little bit as well. Just take a moment, settle the spine back down. And then we're going to come back into the hips. We're going to just have a little bit of a hamstring stretch, really stretch out the leg and the feet a bit more. So let's start with our left foot, just coming into a little heel raise and draw that left knee in. And then keeping your chest nice and open, we're just going to draw the left knee in so you're holding the back of the thigh with your hands. But feel a little connection like you're trying to push your thigh away, but the hands are preventing it. So you're not straining, but you can just feel that core start to wake up. You're going to reach now that left foot up towards the ceiling. And then flex your foot towards your nose as you gently kick the heel back down towards the back of your thigh. We point the toe and we reach it back up. Flex and lower. So again, just be careful if you have hypermobile knees that you don't take the stretch to full extension. It's always wise to just keep a little bend in the knee if you're unsure. One more after this one. Just breathing. Good, last one. And then just relax that thigh in towards the body. Take a breath here. And then lower that foot down, going over to the other side. So we're going to lift the heel and then just gently draw that knee in. Clasp behind the back of the thigh. And then relax the leg, almost pulling the thigh away. And then we're going to breathe out as we reach the toes up towards the ceiling. And then flex the foot and lower back down. So just keep breathing. Keep the chest relaxed, keep the face, the neck, the shoulders. Making this one your last one. And then just gently pull the knee in towards the body. Just let it relax for a moment. Breathe in here. And then exhaling, just lower the feet back down. So just bending the elbows now, so keeping your elbows into the mat and alongside the body. And we're just going to flex the wrist a few times. And then start to make some circles. And then making a fist, a couple of flexes, and a couple of circles. And then opening and releasing the hands back down. So from here, we're just going to come into some bit more hip work, but we're going to come into what we call the double knee fold. So using the abdominals a little bit more here. We're going to peel our left heel up, draw the left knee in. And then if you're happy, bring the second one up to join it. Now, if this is too much, you can just continue what we did earlier with our single knee folds. But if you're happy to come into a double knee fold, just holding it here, breathing in, and then lowering back down with control. So we come up and we lower. And then on the next one, can you keep your legs there? Keep your tummy engaged. Take a breath in as you gently lengthen that thigh away, coming into a few toe taps. So we breathe in as we lengthen the thigh away. Exhale, come back. Just a couple more if you're happy. Keep zipping up through your center. Keep the breastbone soft. And then pull those knees in and just give those hips a little release. Keep your toes together as you just gently make some circles with the knees, just letting the neck roll from side to side, reversing the direction. Pulling the knees in and lowering back down. Taking the arms all the way up towards the ceiling, palms facing towards each other. We're going to come into single fly. So we breathe in to prepare. And as we exhale, we're opening that left arm to the side. Breathing in, coming back. Exhaling, other side. Breathing in, coming back. Exhaling. Breathing in. And exhaling. Breathing in. Turn now the palms to face your knees as you reach your left arm down towards your left hip and reach the right arm to come beside your right ear. Tummy switched on, keep those ribs lovely and heavy. And then take arms back over the chest and alternate to the other side. Breathe in and exhaling. Breathing in, exhaling. So the wrist is strong, nice and in alignment from the hands to the elbows to the shoulders. Keep zipping up through your center to keep the ribs heavy, the spine in neutral, and your pelvis stable. And then we're going to add the opposite leg. So whatever arm is reaching over, you're going to slide the opposite leg away. So left heel, right arm. And then breathe in, everything comes back to center. Exhale, reaching away. Breathing in, everything comes back to center. Exhale, reaching away. Breathing in, exhaling. Breathing in, last set. Making sure you're even. And then the feet can plant back into hip width, lowering the arms down. And just let the neck fall from side to side again. And the last time that the arms are going to be over the chest, you're actually going to cross your wrists and just start to let your fingertips just sort of come underneath your breast, underneath your shoulder blades. Just relax the shoulders, almost like you're giving yourself a hug. And then just gently let the head go to the left. Breathe in. Back to center and going over to the right. Breathe in. Back to center. Reach the arms over, cross the other way to what you just did. Do the same thing by bringing your fingertips underneath the shoulder blades. Giving yourself a little hug. Just really releasing the shoulders away from the ears gently. And now going over to the right, neck rotation. Breathe in. Exhaling and going over to the other side. And then coming back to center, releasing the arms, taking them all the way behind you, letting everything go, and then sliding the legs away as well. Now bend the elbows if it's a bit much on the shoulder. If you prefer to just bring the hands over to the side into your nice corpse position. Otherwise, we're just going to take one last full body stretch here. I hope you have a bit more room than me. We're just reaching the fingertips, the toes away. And then flex the feet, flex the hands. So it's like you're trying to push the sides of the walls away from you. And then point and flex again. And then flexing the wrists, the ankles, the feet. And then just release, bringing the arms all the way back down by the side of the body. You can bring the legs slightly wider, hands facing towards the ceiling. And this is where you can just have a little moment for you. Just start to come back to your breath, that lovely slow breathing in through the nose for about 3 seconds. And then gently exhaling either the mouth, the nose, just ever so slightly longer, maybe 5 seconds. Just feeling the gentle rise of your body and just letting everything go. Taking a few minutes for yourself just to be still. And just scanning your body, seeing how you're feeling. Just letting any tension, any stress completely go. Let the body melt. Be as heavy as possible. Just taking worthy time to be still. We're never still enough. Now, I'm not going to ask you to get up. I'm going to let you stay here and take as much time as you need for you. And when you are ready to come, just gently wiggle the fingers and toes. And just cover your eyes before you come to a seated, because it will just help, especially when you've been lying down for a while. Have a lovely evening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the session. And as always, there's always a lot more other videos on the website, so always accessible if you need it. Have a lovely evening.